Hello, everyone. I am Heponwana. Good morning. Welcome to the final day of Obscurathon 4. I was originally going to show you this game to start off. Obscurathon 4's first day. Things went a little bit wonky, this kind of happens. But we're going to see Genesis Noir. So, to begin with, any good speedrun, you want to delete your save. Well, at least a lot of the speedruns I do. You go ahead, you delete your save, and that's how we're going to begin. Genesis Noir is a very heavy story-based game. It might seem like there is not much for a speedrunner to really be doing, but there are a lot of things, believe it or not. So we're going to go through this game. It's very artistic. I do want to give you a photosensitivity warning coming up, especially in the last, I'd say 20-25% of the game. Things start getting very visually stimulating. So if you do have a photosensitivity concern, please do keep that in mind. And so we're going to begin. Aim percent just means we gotta get to the end of this game as quick as possible. So ready, set, begin game in 3, 2, 1, go. And here we go. This game, it's very artistic, very much full of music, rhythm, story, and we're just mashing through some stuff right here. We're going to play this game somewhat on controller. Controller, it's a good thing. I love controller for game. I have never become much of a keyboard and mouse person, but actually we're going to do controller and mouse. And so I'm going to do a lot of the controls with my right hand on the mouse, but I'm going to use the analog stick on my left hand. The analog stick actually works really quick, really smooth. It's a fantastic way of doing this game. Also, great thing is starting first thing in the morning with this, there is a lot of slow points where I could grab a little coffee. Because believe it or not, I am not fully caffeinated yet. You're like, how is his mouth running so fast without full caffeination? Well, I'm still waking up, but let's wake up together. So here we are No Man. No Man is this guy right here. He's down on his luck, and he is going to sell some watches to try and make some money. So we're going to start off by selling some watches to people on the street. And so we're going to go ahead, and part of the challenge on this game is clicking things correctly. So we're going to drag a watch. It doesn't matter which watch. And this guy's going to give us $1. Awesome. Let's pull over this sucker, this customer. And how about this watch? I like this one. They can have it. I don't want to say I like it. I like to sell it. There we go. We get $1 for it. And then this person is actually going to just give us a pair of underwear. Why? I don't know. This game also doesn't make full sense. But that's alright. We don't need this game to make sense. Okay, we're going to run to the right. And we're going to run through this town. This game is primarily black and white with yellow. It's a really cool visual style. And once color is introduced later on, it becomes so much more exciting because of that color. So up there is Miss Mass. Miss Mass is the star of the local nightclub. She is I cannot think of words. She is kind of the femme fatale. There we go. Going to say, couldn't think of femme fatale. She is the femme fatale. She is the people will murder for her. People will murder her. She might murder you. I don't know. And so, coming up right here, we are gonna have our very first puzzle of the game coming up right here. And the first puzzle is dialing a phone. For those of you who are old, you might know these phones. For those of you who are young, phones used to be like this one that we're going to have right here. We need dial 980-6650. We would know that by looking around this room, find a clue, but luckily I just know that phone number. 9, 8, 0, 6, 6. And yes, phones used to be like this. I actually had one of these when I was growing up. It was a rotary dial phone. You had to put your finger in the circle and dial all the way around for each number one at a time. Speed dialing back then was a whole different type of speed running. And here we go, we're going to get our late opening title sequence. Like I said, this game is very much about artistic style. Alright, and now we need to open this door. Here's where mouse works so much better than controller. And there is Miss Mass, and she is about to be murdered in the Big Bang. So this right here is the Big Bang. So, fun fact, this whole game is kind of a allegory in a way for the Big Bang, the start of the universe, physics. This game really just kind of goes everywhere. So that there is the golden boy or golden child. I forget his name exactly. They don't use people's names all that often. But this is primarily a story of three main characters. The golden boy is shooting Miss Mass in the Big Bang. We are No Man, and No Man is out to stop the Big Bang somehow. Because if we could stop the Big Bang, we could save Miss Mass. We love Miss Mass. The golden boy also loves Miss Mass. And so we need to grab, once it gives us control, we will grab our flask. And so now we will grab our flask and drink it on down. This game does have alcohol drinking and a little bit of violence. Nothing too bad, very cartoonish ultimately. Type of cartoon that as an adult you go, this really looks cool, and if you're a kid watching it, you'd be like, I'd rather be watching like something on Nickelodeon or Disney or pretty much anything. So right here, we're going to spin this around. It's the shell casing, and we're going to see this symbol, this golden swirl. That golden swirl is going to burn itself into our hand and into our hearts and into our mind. That golden swirl is the basis of this entire experience. This entire game is going to now be based around us using that golden swirl to try and solve how to end the Big Bang. And we also button mash through all of that text because it's real interesting text. It doesn't make a whole lick of sense, but it's really interesting. It's very artistic. It's artistic to a level that goes beyond what my brain really can pick up in this story. And now we're going to have a little bit of music, a little bit of a setup of seeding, the beginning of life and existence on Earth. Because the Big Bang happened, and now everything will come into being. We need to get up on top of that hill, and along the way, maybe start life on Earth. So we're going to start off by running around here. There's all these yellow dots. If we grab them, we could collect them. There is no score system, so who cares? We're going to run up to this guy, and he's going to collapse into a white seeds. And if this game doesn't make full sense to you, don't worry. It doesn't, I think, to anyone. But it's just a cool thing. See, we're going to go ahead and click on these white seeds. White seeds will devour white things. We can't get past this for a second. And then we're going to use more white seeds to destroy this fence. We can't move until, okay, there we go. And now this guy is going to turn into black seeds. You can probably guess what black seeds do. They get rid of black objects. So we're going to click here, get these out of our way. And then ultimately we need gold seeds go up the path over there. But we can't do that yet. Throw either type of seed into this pile of dirt, and we're going to go ahead and grow us a plant. And it's that classic, pull off all the petals on a flower as quick as we can. And I mentioned it before, grabbing objects in this game is tricky. It's not as easy as you would think it is. We're going to highlight all of these, and there we go. Flower is lit up, and that's going to bring sun into our universe. A big sunflower to represent big sun. And then we're going to go ahead and zoom in. And full screen there. And now we have sun. And we'll have a new path. New path is what we need right here. We'll just run on down, and we're going to have another place to plant some seeds. And you don't, there we go. It's hard to grab those sometimes. You don't need to go up to the dirt pile to plant the seed. You can plant it from a distance. And now we need to bring water into the earth. To do that, and to water all these cool plants, we're going to click on some clouds. And I'm going to water myself with caffeine. There we go, we got water. And I've got caffeine. And it was good. All right. And now we'll run down here. You can also run left in some areas, or right. Doesn't matter. And we're not going to run out of seeds, so don't worry about using all of one type of seed. And now we're going to tune things. There we go. I was slightly off. And now we've got big trees. We're just pretty much living out the Big Bang start of Earth right here. We'll plant another seed. And this time, we just need time to go. So here is where a mouse really works best. You click on the sky, rotate your hand around in circles while holding down the mouse button. Doing this on a controller is very slow, incredibly slow. Even playing it casually, if you play on a controller, you will get very bored there, because even if you put your hand down, do the Mario Party thing, it's going to go super slow. Alright, so we've got some white things in our way. We'll throw that down, run through, and then over here, we don't need to go up to that dirt pile, so just a touch too far. There we go. So instead of destroying that white barrier, we instead just go through. Now we're going to prune this tree. It's going to give us some additional fruits and flowers, and we want burbs. And once we get those burbs, now the world has life. We have light, we have water, we have plants, we have burbs. What more do we need? And we're just going to continue seeding the Big Bang. Well, seeding the Earth post-Big Bang. This time we need to direct these roots to an underground water source. This one's a little slow as it shows you what you're doing, and once you get going, you just get going. So there is the underground water source. We're going to help the roots go along. If only gardening in real life, you could just pull things out of the way of roots. I am a huge fan of gardening, and it would be so much easier to just be able to help my little plant friends like this. Alright. Now, from this point out, we don't need to keep waiting for things, so we're just going to keep pulling things. And move things and get things going. And there it is. Root got down deep enough into the underground water supply, and we have a happy plant. Which actually was the birth of animal life. I don't know how that works, but that is how it worked. Now you might notice we also have yellow things. We don't have yellow seeds. Well, good news, we have yellow seeds. We will run over here and throw a seed down here. And this will actually loop us back around to where we started. That gate, that yellow gate from the very beginning of this area that we couldn't get past, we will now have yellow seeds to get past it. And that one we actually didn't have to do anything. Makes it a lot easier. So we run over here, grab a yellow seed, tear down this gate. We can't run past to it. Lets us. There we go. Another yellow seed. Once again, can't get past until it lets us. There we go. And at this point, we now see the golden boy up on this hill. He's doing something. So I say we just drop an apple on his head. He is not going to be very receptive to that. He views us as a problem. So this watch apparently was a gift to us, I believe, from Miss Mass. And we are obsessed with this watch and the watch springs in it. And he's going to use this golden watch spring to make a black hole. And that is going to give us the idea of how to stop the golden boy from shooting Miss Mass, how to stop the Big Bang. We need a black hole. But instead of just telling you that, I will let you see as we go through that whole process with No Man of discovering how this works. So each of these little vignettes, we will find an object at the end of the vignette. We will then pull out our hand and see that little swirl on the palm of our hand from the shell casing. We click on that and we teleport our way back to the scene of the crime. And so we see this little black hole of Foreman. Maybe if we could grow it, expand it, we could save Miss Mass. And here we're going to come up with that whole insert the conspiracy theory board from It's Always Sunny. We're going to have that whole setup on this wall where we're going to come up with ideas and solutions, and we're not going to quite do the lines of string from one picture to another, but it's going to get kind of like that. So, our solution. Number one, we will get these white swirls, turn them into yellow swirls, and that'll create a big bang that will stop or create a black hole that will stop the big bang, and then Miss Mass will hug us and we will be happy and we win. All right. So, to do that, we're going to go into the big bang, and all of these little dots are interactable. Ooh, did not click on that quite right. But some of them are just story elements. I have never had it freeze right here. I think the game is doing something unique. This game is a little glitchy at times. We're going to exit out and we're going to click continue. Hopefully we could just dive right back in. That actually got glitchy. That was something I've never seen before. That is what it should have looked like. Interesting. You know, save weird events for speedrun events and showcases, because that's when it really keeps you on your toes. But all is fine. We're just going to jump through as much text as quickly as possible. And so our challenge throughout this game is we only want to go into as few of these vignettes, few of these little episodes as humanly possible. There is at least one that is not required, that you could play through. It's a whole story, and there are multiple that will instead bring up these little like pictures with a little bit of story, like the Big Bang was thought to have occurred in this amount of time and created heat of such temperature, and we want to skip all of those. There's things we could click on. Speaking of skipping, we could click on this ring, we could click on this tie. If we did so, it'd stop, it'd bring up some dialogue. We don't need that. So we're just going to keep running. These yellow dots are showing us the way to see the golden boy. He's gotten sad. We're going to throw rocks at him. It's kind of rude. It's kind of mean. Okay, he didn't pay attention to that. Let's do that again. And we know the classic, the rule of threes. So let's do this a third time. Alright, there we go. Maybe this will encourage him to play his saxophone. And so he threw this bouquet. We could click on those flowers. We could click on that flask once we have control again. We don't want to do that. And if you're playing casually, you might click on the flask. You might click on the flowers. You don't want to do that. Instead, cheer him on. Claude, hey, you're awesome. I love your playing. You know what? Keep cheering him on. If there's a musician, an artist, somebody who does something you think is really cool, a celebrity, a sports player, something like that, and you like what they're doing, cheer them on. Let them know how awesome they are. All right. And there he goes. Alright. Now it's our turn to just... I love just black and white, a little bit of yellow. These visuals are so good for being so simple and cartoony. I love this reflection. Then again, this is what the whole area is called. It is called reflection. So we're just going to run into the water. And here we go. And in this upcoming area, we are going to see life begin from the primordial ooze. So this game kind of gives you like almost that first area seeding was like the religious or biblical birth of the everything. You know, it's very simple in just a short span of time. Here we're getting the more scientific. We are going to see life formed from the primordial ooze. And we're going to just help create life by combining certain elements. This is also one where clicking can be very frustrating and annoying. So hopefully the mouse behaves, because your mouse can get a little bit silly around here. Or not your mouse necessarily, but there we go. It did not want to accept that, and then there we go. And because of how hard it is to get your mouse to accept what you want, it is... No. Come on. There we go. There we go. Because of that, that's where some of the challenge in speedrunning this game comes from. It's just getting your inputs to behave. So we have one last one of these. And this is just us making complex nucleic acids in the primordial ooze. Now that we have all of these amino acids, nucleic acids, all of these basic building blocks of life, we now need to make more complex of life from it. Little did you know, while watching this game, we're learning all of this cool science. So we're going to take a bunch of these and make one of these. I think that'd be like a single cell life form. And then we're going to peep over here and see these guys make a little more complex of a single cell life form. I like to think that one might be a bacteria with a membrane and a cell wall. And then we're going to make something even more complex. You'll notice there's more parts to it. There's like little tubes. Look at that, a little more complex, a little more, fancy of life. Then one more. And we got this one going, and now we are going to make multicellular organisms. So get ready for that. Exciting. This is all about science in an artistic way. So here we get introduced to our multi-celled life forms. Look how complex and amazing. And there's a little heart between them. When your icon turns to a heart, if you're clicking, they get together, fall in love. And along comes the building blocks of the next generation. And we want cylinder, ring, ball. And then we want to bring it over here. And look, This one has additional elements to it. It has a star. So maybe that star will help us. There was that heart. So we're going to have additional elements of life here, and we're going to want cylinder star ball for our next offspring. If you click the wrong configuration, you just have to redo it. So it's part of why I have cheat sheets up on my other monitor. The reason I keep looking over this way is I've got my cheat sheet with some solutions. After this, I'm not going to need any other solutions for a while, but there will be a super complex puzzle coming up later on where I'm pretty much going to have my head glued like this. So, final one, cylinder glow stick star. There we go. If you do the wrong one, you just have to keep building until you get the right one. And having 5 elements there, it is so easy to click the wrong configuration. What's that? I want to say there's like 15 possible configurations. I might not be mathing right, but each one's usable once, and 3 different things, or 3 different that you need, 5 different to select from. And there we go. We got the saxophone. We're going to pull out our watch to look at what time it is, and then we're going to look at the swirl on the palm of our hand. And that is how every one of these little episodes is going to conclude. And there we go. Back to the scene of the crime. And there is the golden boy in the stars. So by doing this, the Big Bang shot is going to expand. So we're getting additional dots in the Big Bang. We need to go through all of the required dots. Now we have 2 of those swirls. No, I did not click that one. That is what happens if you click a wrong one. You click the wrong one, it just gives you that little bit of picture and dialogue, and it just eats up your time just a tiny bit. So now we are diving in to another vignette. Alright, so this one we just need to follow the path. We're just going to keep following this path until we get to something that's moving. Final one. Just keep following this path. Oh. And if you try and cheat and just go to where it's supposed to be at the end, your path disappears from you. And hey, we just got an autograph. And a pen. Alright, that is our clue for this area. Check the time. Alright, and check our hand. Click on the little swirl, and back to the scene of the crime. Some of these vignettes, very long, some of them really short and brief. So you're probably like, man, those first two alone took like half an hour. Well, the rest of them a lot quicker. So don't worry, we are going to beat this game in the estimated time quite easily. Unless something goes really wrong. Like the game glitching again. But I don't think it'll glitch again. There we go, one more swirl. And let's go back to the Big Bang. Wrong one. I just clicked wrong. Is that one next to it? Right here. Like I said, sometimes it doesn't like to click as easily as you think. I floated over it and didn't take the click. And then here we go. More talk about what the Big Bang was like. And now no man is going to run through this smoky post-Big Bang world. Which apparently all the smoke after the Big Bang was caused by cigar butts. So here we are just going to blow this smoke away. And we needed that book of matches, because that is going to be a very important element coming up for us. We see the poster for Miss Mass's concert or performance. And we're just going to head down into this alleyway. We're going to go in to see her performance. Golden Boy and Miss Mass performing together at last. We're going to click on that spotlight to get the show going. And then we're just going to zoom on into the stage. Grab our drink. There are a lot of things we could be clicking on. I just happen to know what ones to get through in a hurry. Pop all of the bubbles. Enjoy some music. And we get ejected from the performance, from the club, and now we are going to run to this planetoid. And in we go to find the Golden Boy is smoking a cigar. And we want to put that cigar out. So we're just going to blow that smoke away. And then we are going to spit out his cigar. He is not going to take kindly to that. But we're getting what we want here. You'll notice there's a swirl on that cigar, which we like things with swirls. And we are going to pick up this cigar. That is our clue for this area. Go and check the time. Pull out our hand. Click on the swirl. And back to the scene of the crime to see if we can stop the Big Bang. So typically when we solve these, it's going to create more blips to the left. But sometimes it will not. So with that one, you'll notice we went to the right on the Big Bang blips. Now we have a bunch of new ones on the left. Sometimes we do have to go back, because if we miss one, that's going to be a problem. If we miss a required one. Luckily, this game, there is no order you have to do them. In fact, we are going to do these out of order. So there are 4 important people we're going to meet who become Any Man. Any Man is a very key character we will meet later on. Any Man is made up of 4 characters who are lost loves from no man's life. And we're going to meet the 3rd one right now. Well, in this episode. You might remember this puzzle from when we were doing seeding. You'll see it in a second. As soon as it gives us control. And one last one, because this time there's something special going on. Alright. Improvisation. There are things you could click here. Most of them will slow you down. But because let's have a little fun, we'll click on the ones that won't slow us down. So that one, it'd slow us down. We're not clicking on it. No clicking on the live music. But what's in this window? What's in this one? Ooh, let's close that one. Okay, no other ones click on, because all the other ones slow us down. They zoom in, they bring up text, they just slow us down. We don't want to slow down, we want to keep moving. So we want to go up here where this music is coming from. There is some beautiful golden bass beat hitting the world. We are enchanted by it. So think of it almost like that classic cartoon thing of somebody smells a pie cooling on a windowsill or some other food, and they just kind of float along smelling it. Well, instead we hear a bass beat. We're a musician. We love jazz, and we are hearing a bass beat to end all bass beats. And also, we don't have a neck. Artistic expression right here. No neck on us as we continue along listening to this beautiful music. And I am controlling the camera here, so I'm clicking with the mouse. I'm holding down with the analog stick. There is a lot more going on than you would think. And here we go. We have our saxophone. Well, Golden Boy's saxophone, but it's ours now. And we're going to play a game of Simon. We all know Simon. Follow what the other person does. 3-1. And then it's going to be 3-1-2-4, I believe. And you want to be careful to not hit the wrong one, because it really slows you down if you do. 3-1-2-4. 3. There we go. If you hit the wrong one, things get really bad because it really drags out the, no, you did it wrong, let's play it correctly, let's redo it, learn your lesson, we're jamming, we got a jam with our friend. So here, doesn't matter what we do, our friend here, the musician, is going to imitate what we play. So we're just mashing this as quick as we can. Quick as it'll take our input. And we're showing our complete lack of musical ability. Well, meanwhile, the musician's almost making it good. Alright, and now we're just having a musical number. There we go. Just had to go long enough so we could click on our musician friend. Just enjoy this nice music. Good musical number. And we just want to keep swirling around in a circle until we see a train. Once we see that train, we want to drag it away, and there we go. Sadly, tragedy befalls our musician friend. No man sadly lives a life that does have a lot of tragedy to it. We're going to take the base of our departed buddy, go and check the time, go and pull out our hand, click on that swirl, back to the scene of the crime. So we have now seen the third aspect of any man. We're going to then see aspects number 2 and number 1, probably in that order. It's up to me. It's free-flowing, this game. We cannot see aspect number 4 until, though, we have met the first 3. So once again, add the base to the wall of clues. We get a swirl from it, put the swirl up here. We're amassing a nice collection of swirls back into the Big Bang. And we want this one right here. This one should be number 2 of any man's aspects. The Earth is going to go through seasons. The most important season for us is going to be winter. Sun, planet, question marks? So let's go ahead and learn about seasons. And there's Golden Boy up there in the stars. So we poke it, and we get seasons. And now we are getting the season of spring, which is all about raining on our parade. Maybe we could dry off a little if we go the next season. Let's get some summer going. I don't know about all of you, but I am so ready for summer to get going. There we go. Where I live, summer is... Come on. There it goes. Didn't want to take it the first time. It's kind of like where I live. Where I live, summer comes at first, and then it retreats for a while, and then it comes back. And now it's time for fall. There we go. Get fall a-going. And we're getting cold. Now there's got to be one more season left, and it's the one that matters for us here. There we go. Get winter a-rolling. We're going to get covered in snow. And now, this is going to go in a direction you probably did not imagine. We need to have a tea ceremony. And so, there is this feudal lord of some renown in ancient Japan-ish type environment who wants tea. This is also where we first see that no man, can turn invisible from time to time. So we turned invisible so we could watch what was happening, and now we need to help with the tea ceremony. So we're going to head on down here, and we need 3 items. They already have a teacup, but we're going to need wood. Hey, there's wood right down there. Look at that. We're going to need water, because can't make tea without water. So right over here is a frozen lake, which, thankfully, somebody cut a hole in, so we have some water. And then we need tea leaves. They happen to be right over here. This is a somewhat large area to explore. There is very little to find if you explore, so instead, we're not exploring. And there are many drawers to open. Luckily, that drawer has the tea, not any of the others. You could go through opening all 12 of those drawers and have the last one be the tea. That is a huge waste of time. Speaking of waste of time, now we have to run all the way back. And there are multiple paths you can take to get back there. This happens to be, as far as I could tell, the quickest one. Unfortunately, with this being Obscurathon, you already know not many people are running this game, and with this game being so artistic and unique like it is, you know people are not running this game all that often. In fact, I am the speedrun community for this game, so I would love more people to play to know if there is better routing. I mean, speedrun communities help with routing and improving the experience. Alright. Yep, we've got what you need. We turn invisible. We'll set it down for you. He's going to see it and be like, oh, let's go in there. Let's have some tea. We're going to go in there. And now we need boiling water to start things off. Also, this feudal lord has a bunch of broken items. And he wants those broken items fixed. You're probably thinking, why am I not doing anything? I'm just sitting here. My hands, not even on the controls. What am I doing? Well, we need to wait for the water to boil. You cannot just click on water to make it boil. So we're just gonna listen to a little flute playing. And that water turned yellow. Yellow is the one symbol in this game that something has changed. And now it's time for tea, done right. All seems normal and calm. Nothing unexpected will happen here. And we'll knock that teacup over because murder is afoot. So that feudal lord has been murdered, assassinated. But actually the person who did it, the tea master in the basket hat, is actually another aspect of any man. Also, we take on a really cool, weird look right here. Skull face. I don't know what's with that. There are a couple times we take on unique looks. This is one of the few times, just for a brief moment. Apparently by melting some coins in the boiling water, we are getting some sort of lacquery glue, I guess. And we will repair all these broken items. Most areas have kind of a puzzle of some sort, a relatively simple puzzle. This one right here is just putting things together. Thank you. Sometimes these don't want to click nearly as nice as they should, and if you go a little too quick, it won't take it, and sometimes it will literally throw things that you're trying to. There we go. Sometimes it will throw things if you click too quickly or let go too quickly, so this one let go too quick. You can hear it click when it's in place. You can also rotate it around, but rotating it around just takes more time. And wait, what do we have in this cup? The swirl. And that there is the Ronin. The Ronin is one of the aspects of any man. You're like, who is any man? I keep mentioning any man. Well, any man will come up later. And so we're going to get this teacup, and now we're going to check the time, going to check our hand, and teleport on back to the scene of the crime. We are getting closer. We have 2 more episodes to see before we will dive into the final aspect of Any Man. And once we see the final aspect, then the story starts really just entering its next phase, its end game of sorts. Once again, we get a swirl, add it to our collection of the swirls, and dive back in. And this one, I believe, should be taking us to meet the first aspect of Any Man. Because who needs to do things in order when you could do them entirely out of order? And wink. Wait, or no, this one wasn't the wink. So once again, we do the speed up time by clicking, holding, and swirling our mouse around in circles as quick as we can. And now we have some prints to follow. So we're going to follow these prints. We are on a hunt. And the first aspect of Any Man is going to be the Huntress, who we will meet soon enough in this episode called Hunt. Plenty of things we could interact with and click on around here. But instead, we just want to get things moving enough where we could get the final thing we need to see. There we go. Sometimes they don't want to click how you want them to. And then we're going to follow these footprints or hoof prints, and look, they end at the river. So we're going to go with no idea of where to go, except for I've done this before, so I know exactly where to go. Head up here, head a left, go into this cave, and this is another area that it's not super big, but it's very easy to get lost and to go the wrong way. So we're just going to head through this cave, take the left path, not the right path. The right path is the wrong path. And here we're going to see the Huntress. She's going to eat some mushrooms. She's going to get a vision and decide to paint it on the cave wall. A vision of deer to hunt, of a stag. And now we want to follow her. So we are going to follow her footprints. So there's her prints. This should be easy enough to follow because just one set of prints and just one set of prints. Oh, that's a lot of sets of prints. But don't worry, it's easy enough. And hey, there she is. And she is still on the hunt for that stag that we saw earlier. A little bit of violence coming up right here in terms of the stag is going to be hunted. Very limited view of animal violence. It's hunting. The stag is going to meet its end. Will turn invisible. However, the huntress will see us for a brief moment as some sort of beast. Once again, speed up time. Grab the stag's antler, which has kind of that swirl type of look. Check the time, check our hand, and back to the scene of the crime. Now we have one more episode we need to see before we can open up the final aspect of Any Man, which will then kickstart us into the back half of the game. You'll notice a few new dots just open up. Around here it's also where we are going to be, I think it's after the next one we do, opens up a optional area, which if we did the optional one, we would lose a whole, no, wrong one, or no, that was the right one. Hey, thought I did it wrong because usually I scroll a little bit further and then once I scroll a little further, it's on the right side of the screen and it's a lot easier to recognize that way. Actually clicked on the correct one. Feel happy about that. Make up a little time for that time I lost earlier. Actually, I hit the wrong one. Let's see if we can. Nope, it's going to make us go through this. All right, so luckily I did bake this into my estimate. We will lose a tiny bit of time because I did click the wrong one. I thought I did. So you're getting the more more game experience here. Problem with this game is if you click the wrong one, you get stuck in it. And this is an optional area, but we will still speed through it as quick as we can. Oh, come on. There we go. So we're going to go through this as quick as we can. Come on, click. There we go. Come on. Like I said, this game does not like to accept your clicks all the time. Also, doing these in a certain order tend to go a little bit smoother than if you go in the order you think would be best. That one was my mistake, hitting the wrong ones. Go here. Okay, that one done. We'll head over to this one. Look at some more stars. And it's a heart. How touching and romantic. Rings. Get that slightly wrong. Go over here. Bring these together into a heart. Some roses. And it's love and romance. One last set of puzzles. One last set of connect the dots. Snake. Come on. People. And this one's a really tricky one. You'll never guess which stars connect. A pistol. You know, that ancient constellation of the pistol. And then we have a good old event of Burning Man time. Bright light. And they see us in the eclipse. We'll take that, we'll check the time, we'll pull out our hand. And there you go, you get the optional area, which we did not want to pull up, but we still got through it nice and fast. And now we will get to where we really need to be, which is gather. So we had hunt. After hunt comes gather. So you'll notice that was right next to the blip that we did for observe. just keep going through these texts as quick as we can. And this is actually going to be the final, like, in the past type of thing. Winks at us. There we go. Oh. Break this apart so we have a trail to follow. Just keep pushing to the right. You're meant to click on things, but we're just going to shove through this. We're just going to keep going. Nope, just keep going. We'll look at this real quick. The game tries to make you think you're meant to click on more things than you are, because if you click on some various things, it'll have you progress back there, but instead, if you just keep pushing through, you progress and you save time. There's the Huntress again. And she is now learning to give up hunting. She's gathering, and then as she gathers, she'll be able to build crops. Building fields of crops will then go from gathering to society. Kind of a bad name for this vignette, being gather, because we're going from gather to animal husbandry to farming. The whole idea of a hunter-gatherer society is you don't have those. You move with the food, with the seasons. The invention of pottery. Now we'll follow the pottery fragment. Ziggurats and powers. Click all of those. And we just keep moving along. Tip over this statue. We'll look at a piece of it. And then we're going to see the end of a civilization. But there's the Golden Boy in there. Golden Boy is the bringer of despair and destruction, and here we see the end of this society. You could clear out all of the ash, but all you need is just to see this staff. And then we'll check the time, look at her hand, and get back to the scene of the crime. That is the last one in antiquity and in the past. And now we are going to see the future. Well, now we're going to see the scene of the crime, the Big Bang. But we will be going to the future. And we are almost at the end of the Big Bang. You'll see it extends to dots almost to the very left. Once again, we click through all of the text that's going to make for us. And it's talking about things smashing into the earth. So this episode's going to have a theme of things smashing. So first, because he winked at us before, let's go ahead and throw some rocks at the golden boy. We did this before, and it got him playing his sax. This time, it's going to get us knocked on our behinds. So this area, collision, is all about things are going to be striking the earth. We're just going to run through this a few times as things continue striking the earth over and over again. And we get to see a little bit of our favorite parts of reality, the hopper. I love the design of the hopper. It's a really nice design they did there. And then teleport into here. Drinks in a flaming bar. This is fine. Anytime it gives us these bubbles, we always want to just clear them out. And once again, we are going to time travel, grab the sky, swirl it around, get time moving as quick as we can. And we're going to have a big old particle accelerator get made. And we're going to have some scientific experiments coming up. First, though, let's light a match. And we are just going to follow this particle accelerator to its end. And by following it to its end, we're going to meet the fourth aspect of any man, the scientist. And we foolishly went from invisible to visible with her. But then she brings us down to the people and we turn invisible again. Now I'm hoping I have one time had it where this game has actually let me skip a puzzle. I don't know what caused it. I'm hoping it happens here. There are going to be 5 puzzles we will do, and the 5th one is the longest. And I've actually had it skip for me one time, so I'm going to hope. I have theories on what caused it. The problem is, this area is so big, and the way the game auto-saves, it's kind of frustrating to try and play through over and over, figure out what caused this skip. So we're going to have 5 puzzles here, signified by those 5 boxes with the 1 dot flashing in it. We need all of those dots solved. So, right here, we are going to need to set up some scientific equipment. There's going to be clues on this whiteboard of what to do, but only clues. Luckily, the solutions are written down. First one, very easy. We always want those 2 dials that I set to the middle, always want those in the middle. Everything else is kind of an unknown. Well, everything else is a variable. So we're going to start drawing, doodling on her board. She's like, hey, don't do that. Wait, inspiration. What if? So once again, these 2 are always going to be set just like that. This we want in the middle-ish. This one we want up at the top. There we go. Like I said earlier, I have cheat puzzle or cheat solutions on my other monitor, so you're going to see me going like this a lot during this area, because these puzzles are going to get a little more complex each and every time. Because they are going to keep adding more parts to this. And we're going to make some tea because each of these is kind of being inspired a little bit by our past interactions with the aspects of any man. So this one's all about that tea ceremony with the Ronin. Previous one, we doodled the stag horns, just like the huntress doodled the stag. Okay. Oh, got that one. Come on. Don't know why you are not taking it. Why are you not working? This is really weird. It is not taking the puzzle solution that it should. That was rather unusual. That is not the actual solution for that puzzle, and this game does not have RNG for that. But it's okay. This game is a little finicky in some of its design. It's probably part of the reason why not any people, run this game. But it's okay. We just shrug it off. This time we are inspired by the music of the musician. Get a little music going. Let's add a part that has music notes on it. So once again, these always go in the middle. Then we want there we go. See, sometimes it works very much how it should. Sometimes it doesn't. And we're going to hopefully skip the final puzzle. I've only skipped it once. It worked once. Let's hope it works again, because that would be fantastic. Hey, I clicked there. Go ahead. Come on. It only skipped once for me. I'm really going to hope it skips again. Oh, it's not gonna skip, I don't think. Unfortunately, the one time I skipped it, I did not have a recording going, which was just unfortunate. Okay, so we want that one. We want it up here. We want this new device over here. This one cranks all the way up. This one cranks up. Middle. Oh. There we go. That one is the most finicky. It does not like the solution the same way twice. Even though it's always the same solution, it just wants you to fiddle with the controls just a little bit in a very weird way. Alright. Now we have finally solved all of the puzzles for this, which is fantastic. And of course, she drops her book. We are going to take that book. We're going to read through it in a hurry. Speed reading time. All right. I just learned so many things. My mind is expanding. And we are actually going to solve part of our problem. How do we turn these swirls from white to gold? Because remember, we needed gold swirls. So once again, the same type of puzzle as we had for the Ronin, of putting things together. Ooh. And you want to be very mindful of how finicky this game can be for its controls. And there we go. And then, as soon as it gives us control back, we just need to click those as quick as it will let us. If you just keep mashing the mouse button or controller input as quick as you want, it will actually not accept any of the inputs. So we want to be nice and smooth about that, and then here we just want to boop it just right. You're meant to tap it, and it'll go like bong, bong a few times. But if you do that just right, you can actually jump through without actually doing it, which is what we did there. And we have now created a black hole. Once again, pick up the object we need, check the time, check our hand, click the swirls, and we're out of here. But now there is a black hole not far from Earth. That's going to be a problem. For who? For everyone. It is a huge problem all around. So, we now are going to convert our swirls to gold. And essentially have the power of a black hole in the palm of our hands. Type of power no one should have, and especially no man. No man should not have this. Only there's somebody to stop No Man. But we'll get to that really soon. So, this is all about the fate of the universe at the end of the Big Bang. After everything has happened, is there a big collapse? Does the world just end? Does everything enter into entropy? And what is the fate of humanity when we've done all of this? We are also getting near to where things start getting bad for photosensitivity warning. So, just giving you a heads up, in the next, let's say 5 minutes, photosensitivity issues can be of a concern, and they will kind of last that way the rest of the run. So this is your final warning. I might give additional warning, but in case I forget, this is your final warning. Look at that. We create a big old black hole. So we will run up here. We want to find the Earth. There is the Earth. And we will throw this. Actually, photosensitivity warning is pretty much right upon us. Also, we skipped a chapter that I don't think is skippable, so I don't know what just happened. And here we meet Any Man, who should not have shown up yet. We skipped a chapter. There we go. Had to grab correctly. And we're going to meet Any Man here and have a lot of photosensitivity concerns coming up from here on out. Because we skipped a chapter that is non-skippable, at least as far as I knew, I don't know what we're going to do in terms of our estimate. we're going to go over here and talk to any man who talks. We literally have spoken dialogue now. So, like I said, photosensitivity warning. This is where things get really intense.
Please stop, ancestral spirit.
Stop now, eternal demon!
Stop time. Beat, brother.
Stop worrying, time traveler.
And like I said, photosensitivity is... This game gets very bright, very flashy, very flickery. And I apologize for that if it is something of concern for you. Also, any man, seriously, you just show up and you offer us a joint right away. So we skipped a part about the end of the Earth and people escaping the Earth, which is kind of interesting. I've never seen that chapter skipped before. I love the music in this game. And we are cast ourselves into the black hole. I suppose that's the end of everything. After all, what happens after you're thrown into a black hole? You can't exactly count on surviving that, so I guess that's it. Game is done, or wait, no it's not. So we are in extreme darkness. This is why we needed that matchbook earlier, and I hate this matchbook because there are too many matches in it. So, fun fact, you could walk around if you want. You could read what this title is. You know what? I'm not going to read it. I'm going to head over here, and then I'm just going to stop. After all, everyone up there kept telling me, stop. And if you're really good, you'll pull a match out before the cover opens. Saves you time. So I mentioned, I hate that matchbook. Why do I hate that matchbook? Well, we're going to have 3 of these moments that we're watching right here. After those 3 are done, we're going to have a bunch of other types of moments, of which, pull a match again. Yes. Until we are out of matches, we are stuck in this part of the game. So it's all about lighting those matches as quick as we can. And then sadly, we can't put them out. We can't just blow it out. We've got to keep those matches going. All right. Big challenge, though, is we... Oh, did not pull out one before it opened. So now we get to see these little... Hey, here's all of our different moments throughout this game. We get reminders of them. Ooh, really good on that match light. And then, as we just click our way through, not bad on that match. Like, could have been a little better. Ooh, pretty darn good. See, this is what you want to see right here. And hey, we're going to get reminders of our Huntress friend. You could probably guess the next one is going to be a reminder of the Ronin. Whew! That was a really good match light right there. Okay, tea, a tray. Yes, it's going to be the musician up next. And then the scientist, obviously, we're going to get some books. Ooh, I am lighting these matches perfect. And then, this is going to be our last match, I believe. Ominous tone. So you know what they say. I don't know what they say, but instead we're just going to light everything on fire. And we might have gotten a little too out of control with that. Once again, open the door by shaking our mouse a lot quicker than using controller is using a mouse for that. Fun fact, anytime you're moving, your controller is quicker. Anytime you're not moving, the mouse is quicker. We're just going to watch as everything burns. And when I say everything burns, I'm going to mean almost everything, including our arm burn. You'll notice one arm is ash. And there it goes. We're going to have a lot more photosensitivity warnings coming up. But also, we're going to have the big musical dance number coming up. Because what's a speedrun game without having a musical dance number? So I hope you're all ready for that. This game is very weird, very stylish, very cool, but also still very weird. So we're just going to walk over here. We're going to destroy these things and look at all the color. I like this here. It's an inaccurate statue, then the arm blows off, and now it's an accurate statue. And now we're going to see Any Man again, or Siren Sapien. And we are not in a good mood. We got thrown into a black hole. Our hand is destroyed. It's kind of our fault, though.
You're mad, but you're here now.
Get all of these flowers out.
We see you're missing so much.
Grab all those flowers, create a new arm.
You look at me.
It's time for our dance number to begin. Hope you're all ready for for a very colorful dance number. With some very finicky controls. These controls are so much weirder than you're going to think as we go through this. It is very much like controlling a shopping cart. It is not meant to be speed ran. Because it's meant to be kind of free-flowing, like a musical number. So there are these symbols, but also we need some words. So there are these 4 dots that represent the 4 aspects of any man. So first, we'll do the hunter. You could do any of this stuff in any order you want. It's an artistic expression. You're free to do however you want. You can't go too fast on this, or else it won't work. So each of these musical parts, each of the lyrical ones, is going to have a mini puzzle that's reminiscent of the puzzle you had before with that character. So this is the Ronin, and we're just going to have a simple put it back together broken panel puzzle. And like before, it is very easy to do that too quickly, and you end up throwing your pieces. So, be very calm on that. And now it's the musician's turn. And this one is going to be the game of Simon again. So let's go ahead and play a very simple game of Simon. That's 2, 4, 3, 1. And that'll be it. That's how simple it is. But you want to be very careful not to click the wrong one, because that is a huge time waste for something this late in the run. we're just going to knock out a few of these real quick. And now it's the scientist's time. We're going to have another puzzle similar to what she had previously with all of the sliding dials and whatnot. And the subtitles are slightly off here. And now the big dance number, where we have no real control. We just sit back and enjoy. And no man is having a good time. So right here, all we could do is we can click, and it'll show just a still of each aspect of No Man. Or we don't click, and we can just watch. Or each aspect of any man, I mean. Or we don't click and we just watch any man just cut a rug. So we're just going to enjoy this. And look at that. They had some fun together. But then comes the harsh reality. No man is a sucker for all of this. Now we go flying through the inevitable. What has happened, what will always happen, what is fated to always be.
Can we stop it?
No. Oh? Realizing. So, here we have 4 doors. I know we don't see all 4 of them. You could do them in any order you want. And we're just going to fly through, and we're going to see 3 aspects of each aspect of any man. And we're going to go through each one real quick, so it's a quick zoom in. And then it's a quick zoom out. And then it's a quick zoom in. And we did do this a total of 12 times, 3 per aspect of any man. So 3 aspects of each aspect of any man. What does this all mean? I have no idea. But it is still just a really cool game to behold visually, orally, like AU, not OR. There is not much orally. And like I said, you could do this any order you wanted. Time to be playing the hits. And once again, we just go through these 3 different parts. Sadly, we're not getting like cool music during this, especially since this is a musician. Should be some music. He has a music playing gun, apparently, but no. A little music there. You get 1 note, though. Or maybe 3 notes. But nope. And now back to the the bench with no man and any man. Swing back around. Like I said, you could do this any order you want, so we'll save the Ronin for last. Into the next one. So we are getting close. We're over halfway done with these, and then we are in the final chapter. The final chapter is rather brief. This game has 2 endings. I think ultimately, time-wise, both endings are about the same in terms of speedrun. And the choice on which ending you do is entirely done just at the very end. You pick one of 2 choices. And if you want to see both endings, once you beat this game, there's a chapter select, so you could just load up the last chapter again, unless you delete your save, which you need to do with your speedrunning. So we only have a couple minutes left, which is good, because my coffee is about empty, and before we dive into the next run, which is also going to be with me, definitely going to want to get my coffee cup filled back up. So that's good news all around. So we have maybe 2-ish minutes left, I want to say. I could be off, maybe 3 minutes. Definitely ahead of estimate. I believe my estimate might have been 2:12, and I'm doing this right one before the center one, just to show you, like I said, Order does not matter. And this is the last one. And then we are going to be heading into the final chapter, which is going to have the most text at the opening to button mash through. Oh, one quick thing here where we gotta zoom out of our watch. And then we're going to zoom back into our watch. And back in we go. The visuals here are really cool for what it's doing. Like, this game definitely has a real style to it. It makes it kind of fun to speedrun with how limited your actual actions and controls can be, and how finicky the controls are, just because the game is so cool to see.
You don't have to save anyone.
Alright, this chapter ends, and now we're going into the final chapter. Looks like we are a little slower than I thought, despite the fact that we skipped. So the chapter we skipped versus the chapter we accidentally played that we shouldn't have, kind of worked out not in our favor. So here, each of these texts kind of represented by the different aspects. So the hunter, the ronin, the musician, the scientist, and then any man has a color choice, a color palette of all the colors. Alright. So we are coming close to time. Just gotta go through this last chapter. It's a short chapter. And it's a chapter where we don't play as No Man. Well, we don't start playing as No Man. Instead, we get to play as any man. Doesn't really change game any, really. It's just we get to be any man for one brief moment. And looks like I was wrong about being way ahead of estimate. Should be right around estimate. Alright. Come on, and we move to the right about now. Very much letterbox style of presentation, but it starts growing bigger until all of a sudden it's going to start shrinking again. We could click on that gun if we want. We're not doing that. And shrinking back down again. Alright. And now comes the choice. So we make a choice to determine what ending we get. Do we go with Miss Mass?
You don't have to save anyone.
Or do we walk away? So ending on the left. We're different aspects of us. On the left, we go with Miss Mass. On the right, nope. You know what one I say? Nope. And so you're probably like, and that's the end of the game, right? Nope. There is one tiny little bit of text we have to scroll through. So time is coming up really soon. We are sadly slower than I was anticipating. Hitting that optional area accidentally really just created an issue. So let's get through this as quick as we can. We'll see the hopper for a final time. We'll see the city streets. And we're just gonna walk away. And get a little bit of title card or a little bit of ending credits before we get the final little bit of dialogue. Toss out that watch, because it's brought us nothing but pain. And time is coming up in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Right there, that is the end of Genesis Noir any percent. Went a little slow because of that goof up with the optional one that, unfortunately, if you do click on it, you cannot click out of it. There is no saving yourself from it. That's my bad. I should know better. But if you want to run a game that will always keep your eyes just alert, your ears kind of groove into some good music, consider running this game. It is a really cool experience, or at least play it casually. So anyways, that was it for Genesis Noir. I will be coming up next with What the Car. So short little break, hopefully, and then we will be back with that.